welcome to the 10th Asia Business Forum hosted by the Asia Club here at London Business School.
When you look at the speakers, we have speakers coming from all different backgrounds, and we have very high-level speakers such as Wang Shi. We have the co-CEO of Rocket Internet Asia who came and gave us a speech. So I think it's an amazing opportunity to have that many high-caliber people gathered at the same time, giving us knowledge basically of what's happening in Asia at the moment.
In terms of competing with China, we're actually seeing more foreign direct investment moving into ASEAN. In effect, it complements China to some extent rather than substituting. So if you're looking at expanding capacity and you're a European or US multinational, you look at putting the extra capacity or the incremental capacity in ASEAN. So you can see it in Vietnam, in Thailand, in Indonesia. The attractiveness of the markets, the labor supply available there, and the rest make it really complement. And if you look at global supply chains, actually, ASEAN is plugging into China's supply chains that link into the Western economies. So it's part of an emerging, I would argue, larger Asian story.
From a very global landscape, you can see a lot of links that can happen. And when I look at Asia, and I combine that with the opportunities that exist in Africa, I think that Asians can actually start looking at how they can collaborate with Africans. We're talking about several millions of people in terms of the marketplace there that have basic needs. And I think that there are many Asian manufacturers, Asian entrepreneurs, where their services could actually be of good use within the African landscape as well. So lots of self-to-self relations.
Instead of investing in entrepreneurship, I think what they should do is to facilitate, the growth and development of entrepreneurship in Asia. For example, access to talent. In Singapore, they have a very strict policy of employment pass, meaning that it's very difficult for a company now to bring in foreign talents to work in the company. And actually that puts entrepreneur in a big disadvantage, okay? Because if you're a small company and they need a quota of a Singaporean, if you want to hire foreigners, then it really makes it almost impossible. So I would argue, for government like Singapore, they can actually do a more differentiated policy to make it easier. Maybe for big companies they are stricter, in terms of enforcing, certain rules, but give leeways, for startup and small enterprise, so they can get more rooms, to get the talents, and the resources they need.
I think that this was an amazing speech, and their business model is extremely exciting, and I think it appeals to a lot of people who are there in the audience from LBS and from other business schools.
These markets have a much lower GDP, therefore they haven't seen kind of the growth coming from increased mobile penetration, increased smartphone penetration, and with prices dropping below $100 for an Android device, we'll see this part of the world having more and more smartphones and therefore driving the growth in the internet sector.
I think everyone agrees that nowadays Asia is playing an increasingly important role in the global economy. And as a business school, it's very important that our focus also is on Asia.